How you doing? Whitetail hunter coming at you here from the Rockin' Bee. I was just throwing up a short video on my beans, something I noticed the other day, and I thought I'd add this other little short video about the beans. One of my viewers had some beans that looked, and man, they're not bad looking beans. I mean, they just ain't growing very tall, and you know, because they're not getting bigger, not bushing out, so they look sparse. But really, if they were really filled out, they'd be a lot bigger. But when you start to looking at them, you'll see everywhere where they're nipped off at. And it's really even almost hard to notice them until, you know, you get down and start looking. And they keep nipping the tops off them, and they don't seem to eat the whole thing. And then you get some flowers on them once in a while. See, these are all nipped off. Look at this. That whole stem's gone. All them's gone. But you're thinking, man, look at that. My beans just ain't doing good. I need to fertilize them or do something different next year. You know, or what's wrong with my soil. And I'll tell you, man, I run into this problem, and it's not such a bad problem to have, really, but it's too many deer. Because these beans are in the exact same soil, the exact same treatment, everything is the exact same as these beans. Everything is the exact same, and those are over 3 foot tall. They all got the same Roundup treatment. But you get over there, and you just got short beans, and because they're short, they look like they're sparse when they're really not. If you took all these beans and took them down an inch tall, they'd look the same way. I could have sprayed this with Roundup one more time, but I don't have enough weeds in here to worry about it. It ain't like I'm trying to sell these things or anything. You gotta watch out you don't end up putting too much money in this stuff. But yeah, hot wiring them off. And I told you once before on another video, I like the three-dimensional effect. The deer, you know, you can put a fence up as high as you want. A deer could jump that easily, but that with that ribbon turbo tape in the front here, and you let it, you don't uncoil it flat, you let it curl so it's got some curl to it. You can see it curling going down there because it's more visual. And then you got your two wires behind that. There's approximately 3 foot in between the poles here, and you should try to get 3 foot in between the wire. And if you just use some metal poles for your corner posts, and then these little step-in fiberglass poles, they just step right in really easy. You can make your height, and that's just like a cord that carries electric. It's just your regular electric wire, but it's not the wire, it's the cord. And I think it's 624 on the inside, 2 wires, and 16 on the outside. And when the deer look at it, they get an effect of a three-dimensional thing, and they're thinking, I don't know how long that is, or if I can jump over it, and they go up and touch it with their nose, and once they get about 75,000 watts to the snout, they generally try to stay away from it. But any of my buddies out there just trying to grow beans or whatever, brassicas, and this ain't working for you, this is a lot of your problem right there. The difference is that and that. And like I said, I think I could take that power head off there down there right now, that Gallagher unit, and just leave this fencing up for looks. And I don't think those deer will come anywhere. because they know what happens when they touch that fence. They're steering clear by 10 feet. I think I could pull them power heads off there and fence that whole new stuff up on top and throw juice to that and get them trained on the brassicas, and I could probably leave that on the beans so I want to take it off, and I bet they wouldn't even go in there. Anyway, that's a little video to some of my viewers that was asking about some stuff, and I'm going to run back and show you my progress on my back 40. See you when we get back there. All right, you got the whitetail hunter coming back at you. We're up on the back 40 and my other bean plot, and I'd say we're doing pretty good up here. Hitting right about 48 inches on some of the tall ones. And that's real good for beans. They were like only 3 feet last time I was up here. We'll go to the outside where you can see better, but if you start looking down in here, what you'll see is, see here, beans. Beans all the way down. Beans, beans, beans. Beans everywhere. I'll shut this off while I walk out. All right, I'm back outside the wire, but or right by the wire. But you can get a little bit better idea where they're thinner here, what they look like. These are some way smaller plants, but you see they're just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 beans. And these plants are just little bitty ones. See all the beans hanging on that one. "14, 15 beans on a little 12-inch plant. And those babies out there are 4 feet tall. So we got us a good crop of beans coming in. So that's why I say, if your plants are real small, 3, you know, kind of like what I had going on before I tilled this up. Looking like these, where the deer's been eating them off and whatnot. You don't got no flowers. I mean, that's what gives you your beans. So, I don't know, sometimes, you know, like all this stuff that didn't, that the deer ate off, I end up just, because I wanted my brassicas to be extra good, so I end up working the soil again instead of just throwing the brassicas out on top, which you can do in a bean patch, you know, because the beans will end up dying off and their brassicas might grow. But if the beans are so small that they ain't gonna have a chance to put any real pods on there, sometimes you're better to work the soil up, you know, fertilize it, pack it, seed it, and repack it like you should do brassicas. But they will grow, just broadcasting on the ground, you won't get 100% germination. Anyway, I just kind of want to show you where the beans were at, and I hope you guys' beans are doing something similar to the same. And if not, it may not be what you're doing or how you're planting or your soil or anything else. It just might be your deer pressure and just the difference in putting a wire around them. And I like the S40 Gallagher because it has a game mode, which pulses faster during the night and slower during the day. But the S20 is cheaper. It just has a kind of a slow pulse for like cattle, because when they get into something, they'd be real slow, you know, compared to a deer. But, you know, I'm sure it would still work. Anyway, this is the whitetail hunter, and hope you guys' food plots turn out good, and you get some ideas on maybe putting in some artificial rubs later on and some artificial scrapes and getting all that stuff in your head and getting your stands up. And that'll be my next step, but I think I'm gonna take a little time off here. So you guys have a blessed day and keep at her.